a great payoff that he's like making Lannister armor and swords, and he's like sitting there right under their nose, and he makes the comment about it like the best place to hide was arming the people that killed my dad. You know, like,
and you're kind of like you take a second, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's probably pretty true. No one knows who you are and has any reason to suspect who you are, so why not? You know, outside of Melisandre,
adding fuel to the fire too.
And it's also
I gotta believe that if you're there forging their weapons, watching them go off to fight in what would have been a battle against you, I gotta believe that he
was forging imperfect weapons.
Just pissed.
Oh, yeah, he was just making them fail.
I mean, that's going to be pure conjecture at this point.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I like it.
But when he
imperfect weapons.
So then he grabs the hammer, and you're like, that thing's gonna happen.
And then, man, when you saw that thing pop out, and you saw the stag on
stag on it is so badass. I think I'm putting that I think we should.
Ooh.
Never mind, hold on. I just came up with our game for today. I told you guys I didn't have one before. I got one. I've got a great one. Save it.
All right, so then we segue, and Tyrion... Well, we see Bronn and Jaime walking through the dungeons around Balerian's head, and Tyrion pops up, which I kind of was unhappy because I wanted to see Bronn and Jaime kind of duke it out for a minute before then, but we didn't get that payoff. But then Tyrion shows up, Brogan. I feel like you've been wanting to talk about this. So.
Yeah, so I want to start with the acting of... What's his name again?
Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Yeah. What a cool
Nailed
name.
it.
Sounds like a James Bond bad guy. Could be a James... Actually, I'd get behind that. He could be a good James Bond bad guy. Put him in a turtleneck. He's petting a cat. Where am I?
Totally.
What's happening?
Scar near the eye.
All right. All right. So that scene is maybe one of the most emotionally charged scenes that I've seen for different reasons than we've seen so far. Like this brotherly love, which is weird when you're talking about Jaime because God knows what that means. But this love of
he really loves his siblings.
I don't have a. Do you guys have brothers?
I have a sister.
I have a half brother.
All right, so you're the closest. but what that feeling must be like to not have seen your brother for so long and to identify your brother as the enemy for so long and then learn a piece of information, a very important piece of information only recently that you found out that he wasn't responsible for killing your son. And so all of the hate ammunition that you've built up for this guy is suddenly that chamber is emptied. And you are standing face to face with him, and you're just thinking I'm so mad at you, and then you're like, but why am I mad at you? And he's like, oh, you killed Dad, and then he's like, I kind of get why you killed Dad, and it's like this moment that you can see all of the gears turning in Jaime's head, trying to come up with reasons to hate him, but not coming up with enough reasons to hate him to end the conversation then and there, And I thought it was awesome.
Other than killing our father and killing my son, because I don't have one of those. That perfectly describes my brothers and I's relationship. So
that's awesome.
I feel as if I'm pretty close to understanding this Tyrion and Jaime relationship.
I feel like what's really interesting in that scene is that Tyrion, I think maybe for the first time, finally gets to say his piece. He has never been able to be like, is this really what you think I expected? I didn't want to be born this way. I didn't want Dad to hate me like this, but he did because he thinks I'm a little monster. And it's the first time you see him, and again, credit to actors because he killed it. Peter Dinklage just killing it.
Always. Yep.
But it's finally the first time he gets to say his piece, and it's to his brother. It's thankfully to the one person who actually might give him the time of day to listen.
Yeah, you see the real struggle they both have with the conflict of both the actions they've had and now seeing each other after the paths that they've been down. And it's kind of like this mutual weird respect of I understand what you did, but I mean, it's really difficult to actually say that's okay, but I guess I'm going to have to come to terms with it. That's all said just by the actors in this sequence here. So, I mean, it was really kind of a short scene, and then you want to roll to the next...
What was the next scene?
Yeah, the next scene is that they come back out, and Davos and Gendry are getting in the boat, and the fucking Vulcan skull of the King's Landing.
Yeah, Jesus
different Vulcan
different guys,
skull.
but Jesus, these fucking bumbling idiots. These guys, to me, another TV moment that I really... I enjoyed it because it was entertaining to watch, but I'm like, God, this is out of place for this show. But these two guys come up, plucked straight the fuck out of Monty Python.
Yes.
Oh, they got some boner crabs, and they're walking over. And,
I want some wine.
It's it's going to be $15 now. It is.
Yes.
And then so they do this whole thing. They're walking away hey, where did you get a scar? And they come back, and have the whole fucking interchange or whatever. But But what we got to see, what the payoff was from all of this is, okay, fucking Gendry knows what he's doing. Did that way that he dispatched
swinging
those
a
two
big
guys.
hammer.
Holy shit! Oh my god,
dude, he is his father's son. Like that's such a good scene. And the whole time, guaranteed the three of you were thinking this too. Like, where's the hammer? Like, when's the hammer coming out?
He's
At what point?
Yep.
And then when they finally are like, well, Cersei's going to pay more for her brother. He's like, all right, I've had enough. Here comes the hammer.
Holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah, I guess we gotta whack you right in the nose with this hammer.
Oh god. So is next.
Yeah, do we want to keep going?
Yes.
I thought there was some funny shit that happened.
Go.
But yeah,
Let's talk about boner crab.
Well, he talks. Yeah, he's got all these like
the crab, the fermented crab. Can you imagine what that must actually taste like, though?
God.
Like,
I don't know, but apparently
crab?
it keeps brothals in session for
There's
longer.
no way it actually does.
Who
because when you
knows?
think of what you do to ferment food,
Yeah.
it's crab.
Yeah, no thanks.
Ugh.
That's a lot of it too.
Davos is
It's like
essentially
3 buckets
Three
full.
fucking buckets full of fermented crab.
They had to row there
That's
with that in the boat. Like, holy shit, you're smelling that.
And
for a long
now,
time.
but now they got Gendry, who's like a fucking motor in and
Yeah.
of himself, and he's just like, all right,
More
we're back
than-
at Dragonstone.
Yeah, he's
Meanwhile,
just-
everyone's just
Can I
popping
just-
boners in the in the boat on the way
Can I
back.
just
to
say,
the
Gendry
ship.
was not as swole as I was expecting him to be.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to see Gendry with his shirt off. I said it here on
I
the
feel as
podcast.
if rowing, though, produces a lot of lean muscle.
That's true.
Also
yeah.
swinging a hammer. I suppose he's just been toning.
Yeah, he's
not
just
so
been
much
toning.
bulking.
Yeah,
It's a
he's
lot
not
of
bulking
lean
season
muscle.
yet.
so I feel like Davos, though.
And this is where we take a turn.
What happened?
I feel like Davos, though, is like the party trick master. He's like, I can smuggle you in. I got all this shit in my boat, and we'll be able to like make a bunch of random asks of the guards if we get there, if they notice.
He even makes a joke about their
Boners through
boners
the
being so
chainmail.
strong that they'll go through the chainmail.
So great.
Get to your local establishment. Yeah,
I'm just surprised he didn't pick the gold back up. Like, why didn't he take this gold back?
yeah.
Why did they take the swords? Because, that should be
You need
useful.
swords.
Why
Yeah.
did they take the gold armor? You know how useful that could have been later on?
Well, for more undercover ops, and
Yeah, there's
honestly,
so many things
when they
that-
have to bring a fucking white into the town
Yeah.
later, that could have been super useful.
All right, boys.
Anyway,
What do we got next?
I digress.
We're digressing.
Jamie walks into Cersei's quarters and Qyburn's there, and he's all confused. Why was Qyburn here? That's my notes. Anyways, so Jamie discloses to Cersei that he met with Tyrion, and she asks, "What did our little brother have to say?" And Jamie, of course, is like, "Dany wants you to meet. There's an army of dead men marching on the Seven Kingdoms." It's kind of like, I guess I'm the messenger. In
The
this
more they
situation.
talk about it, the more ridiculous I understand how it sounds. But like, god damn, if somebody could just believe it and be like, we got dragons and we got some magic. Maybe dead people isn't so out there.
Right.
I just so that this is the scene where we before we get into the big revelation, which I think is going to cause a lot of conversation here.
clearly did, yes.
Argument.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, let's finish off the thread that we've sort of been tugging on here for part of this episode is the. Sorry, I keep knocking this thing on our table, everybody. But this thread that we've sort of been tugging at so far about like the armistice and the alliance, right? This is where Cersei actually comes to the realization that I can use this to my advantage. Like if we do this, we keep our enemies closer, we're going to play this thing like Pops played it. Like this is how Dad would have done it. Like let's do it. Let's be sneaky. Let's be, lions lurking through the tall grass to try to figure this out. You know what I mean? And not head-on battle with Daenerys, which is sure to fail. So
Yeah, lean in, right, and say, well, yeah, let's help you out, and then stab her right in the back. That's
Yep.
what it sounds like.
Interesting how much more she is like in terms of like composure at this point when she's talking with Jamie than the first conversation with Jamie, where she's like super angsty, and now she's like, now that I've had some time to think about it,
Yeah.
maybe our dad's plans and how he did all this stuff was smart. And then you can see her pulling that little finger, like thinking 6 moves ahead.
Do you know what causes a dramatic change in thinking?
what's that? Being pregnant. For our audio listeners, John is cradling an
cradling a
imaginary
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
So she reveals that she is pregnant with Jaime's child, their fourth.
Damn it.
Is she actually pregnant?
Okay. Originally, I didn't think there was a chance in hell. I thought it was all a ruse. Like, Jamie's obviously kind of growing apart. He doesn't think they can win the war. She has to get him motivated. How do you do that? We have a fake baby. Otherwise, I think really thinking about it like holistically, the one thing that she's always been really, really aware of and moral about is her children, and also has been typically pretty honest with Jaime, even if she does treat him like shit. So I kind of went all in at first, and then I kind of backed up. And actually, Beth had some good points too, so I'm not gonna discount that. But to say, okay, maybe this is a real deal. Maybe she wouldn't lie about her child.
I just want to say, I called it, what was it, yesterday when we were texting together, and I was like, Cersei's pregnant, but she's going to die in childbirth. But that's going to fulfill the prophecy, because she's only going to have 3 children. And then we got into a semantic debate. Like, what? Is a child...
Help me understand the brother death, though. Well, because Jaime literally kills her with his sperm.
Yes, that's where it comes in. This baby would not exist without Jaime. Jaime literally kills her. And then I feel as if Jaime's going to kill himself in grief. Maybe, but it doesn't really pan out that way. It doesn't really matter what Jaime does after that, because that fulfills prophecy. This baby would not exist without Jaime and his daddy, uncle, loving ways.
I'm taking the other side. I think it's a lie. I think, and I'll come at this from a couple different ways. So I don't think we're seeing the same Cersei that we saw when 3 of her kids were alive, 2 of her kids were alive, obviously when Tommen was alive. She is no longer moral in terms of anything. I think she is willing to do whatever it takes, say whatever it takes, make whatever decisions are needed in order to put pieces in the place for things to come out her way. And I think that includes Jaime. And I think she is manipulating him. I think this is a ruse. The comment that Qyburn says when Jaime first walks in is like, I can give you something for that. I think there are a couple ways to spin that. I think it could be something to make it look as if she is pregnant. That was how I'm taking it. Mm-hmm. I just think it's enough to fake it. Jaime finds out, overhears somehow, and that will lead him to end up killing her. I'm still on that boat. I don't think she's pregnant. I don't think she's moralistically obligated to anybody. I don't think she cares anymore. It's her way. Whatever's going to help her win. She's lying. That's my thought.
So I'm going to back Seth up, and here's my reason.
Hype man.
That this here's my reason for thinking that she's not pregnant. So she knows, or Qyburn has just told her that Jaime was meeting with Tyrion, because she knew that. She said, "Do you think I know it? Do you think I'm the queen? I know everything that goes on in my kingdom." She says that to Jaime, so she knows that they were just meeting. And what she's worried about, and especially after learning that some of that ammunition has been emptied about hating Tyrion after finding out that he wasn't responsible for Joffrey, she's worried that she might start to lose Jaime to Tyrion. And so she needs to get her bishop back. She needs to get her chess piece back. And how do you do that? How can you lock in the emotional support of Jaime? You say that we're pregnant, and this time I'm going to let you be the outward father of this kid. And so he's finally like, fuck, all right, cool, great. This is totally why I'm Team Cersei. Like, if I was ever questioning it, this is why I'm here. I love her. She's the mother of my children. Yep. And we have a new bun in the oven.
But to keep the chess analogy going, like, long term, have you thought about the logistics of faking a pregnancy?
And again, Qyburn can fake that stuff.
I did
Look
today,
what he's done so far.
like, a lot.
Where does the chess analogy come back?
Well, you were saying bishop. Like, how do you play that out long term? Like, if you're going to reclaim the bishop, how do you get to the point where you can get a pawn out to the point where they can reclaim themselves into the bishop? I don't think it works. And I don't think Cersei would lie about something like this. And it fits. I mean,
I think what we're struggling with is the prophecy doesn't foresee her having a child. So I think we can all agree that she probably won't actually have a kid, or if she does have the child, she'll be dead. So there's no passing there.
In semantics, does a child have to be born to have a child?
Right. No, I mean,
so like
in the show,
into a really esoteric debate.
Yeah, but that's I think a little beyond what we're delving into.
Yeah,
but it's tough. I think it's tough to decide what that is. I will say there's a little poetic justice if she is pregnant. I hope it comes out as a dwarf, because of how much
that too,
she
or
berates
they realize
Tyrion.
it does, and then Jaime kills her because of it.
So that's that.
That was
I'm
something
still,
that crossed my
I'm
mind
still,
today. Yeah,
I'm still on the boat of she's faking, but if she is pregnant, I hope she gets some type of karma